sorry about that, is the largest percentage of experience points that are awarded. The very concept of killing the monsters increases the leveraged position, so players learn to kill the monsters if they want to gain experience, and if they want to gain experience, they're going to gain advancement. As they gain advancement, then they get better at killing monsters. So it's a circular process. Therefore, the nuances of the new rules are pretty easily overstepped by the sheer possibility of what you might get out of it, so to speak. So this shift in the reward system has, if you pardon the phrase, rewarded the murder hobo. They put more power in the hands of those who aren't trying to follow the story. They're simply trying to advance within the mechanism. And I think it's also the blandification, that's my new word, blandification of the mechanics. As the game becomes easier to play through, it takes less effort to advance. And if it takes less effort to advance, then you are improving your shifts and skills and increasing your lethality, which therefore feeds back on itself. And so there's a process that's conducive to the murder hobo. It's a rewarded process. There's also, of course, an issue that the actual player base has been compromised, because a large number of the players who are now coming back to role-play games because of the shows like Critical Role and Stranger Things and Community, all these different shows talk about role-play games, and so those people who are coming from a video games marketplace are already familiar with the concept of a disconnected, isolated player character who basically runs roughshod over the environment. He has to. That's the mechanic of the game. And so player conversion from the video games marketplace has meant that there are more people that hold to that view as they come to actually play at the table. And because of this, because of the use of the online environment, the video games marketplace, the YouTube generation, and those that are utilizing social media to get their fix on what they appreciate, there's a normalization of meta play. So yes, game masters will be endeavoring to tell the story, but the players, and actually even many of the game masters, have this new mechanism where they actually play into the advancement of the character outside of the life of the NPC, but or the player character, but instead in the meta play of how the rules would benefit the advancement process for that particular character. And that normalization leaves players with the feeling or the concept that they don't really need to hear the story. They don't need to be a part of the story. Instead, they can simply reach out for the community of players and find out what works and what doesn't work in the community. Now, the Dungeons and Dragons organized play mechanism, Adventurers League, really stifles the concept of the long tail because it is seeking to promote each new product release as it comes out, which is logical. If you are a manufacturer and you're producing a new product, you want the new product to be what's in the hands of the game masters and the players. So, but it eliminates the long tail aspect of a game master telling his story. You finish the end of the episode and you move on. You get your loot and you move on, and that process prevents the nuanced advancement of a storyteller with his group so that they grow together. So it actually sort of foments this concept of the murder hobo because there's no accountability to the game master episode over episode, because the organized play actually mandates or suggests that you have different game masters changing through all the time. And of course, the final one here is that because of all of these categories and things, win conditions are sought more stridently than elements of the story. Players want to know what they have to do to win. Is this a monster hunt? Is this a treasure grab? Is this a trap mechanism? What is it we're doing so that I can learn how to win at it? And that's counterintuitive to role playing, and it actually promotes the idea of a murder hobo. Now, I mentioned this as the rise and fall, and so far I've only talked about the advancement and the growth and the development of murder hobo. But the reality is that those new game masters, remember I talked about them earlier? Those new game masters are getting older all the time, and they are getting to the point where they also get what the storytelling is about. They want to expand on their development of their story. Some of them even want to go so far as to get involved with world building and creativity beyond just the microcosmic how to run an adventure, right? But that process of coming back from the edge of the murder hobos also has to lay itself at the feet of the players. If the players want and reward the murder hobo aspects, they will always be a component of their games. But when they do start to move beyond that, then it's up to the players to adapt to the new play environments. And I believe we're going to be seeing that over the next 6 months to 3 years, especially with the upcoming new Dungeons and Dragons edition in the works. Alrighty, so finally we're going to go to, is it this one? Nope. Oh. Where are we going?